Okay, good morning for everyone. Uh, Please subscribe my channel, share it, share my channel, share my video, and like my video. Thank you. Okay, let's begin. Today, we're going to see a different kind of video. The title is The History of Rock and Roll Music. As we all know, the rock and roll was the most popular music even today, liked by the youngsters, even uh, elderly people, as it's entertain for their hearts and they enjoy the music. So when it comes to the rock and roll music, it's began in 1930s and 1940s by American African who popularized the music, and it take the rhythm and blues in a deep from 1930s to 1940s, because it's constantly evolving subgenre, and that can be sourced from and over the all over the world. That means the different kind of rhythm and subgenre or genre music can be found. Okay, after the founding of the rock and roll. But it firstly where it get popular. Okay, come to the rock and roll. It firstly get popular in United States, and increasingly by 1955, rockies like or rocker like Billy Harley Rock, which is famous for his rock song "Around the Clock," reached chart number one, and rock music became a prominent and entertaining music for every listeners. So when come to this, the rock and roll, which is soundly different, fast, and entertaining for the youngsters, gained a momentum in 1950s, and youngsters started to listening such music. Okay, we come to this solo artists like Elvis Presley, Chuck Berry, and even Jerry K. Lewis become a prominent rock and roll stars. They started to use or shift from the acoustic guitar to electronic guitar in 1950s. So the rock and roll music become a more different genre and energetic music to be listened by everyone. So in 1960s, California was leading in creating electric guitar, which is help to change the rock and roll music, and it become uh, music in which rock star using and moving towards the music and lights. So when rock and roll played, the singer and the movement around the, I mean, light movement around the rock or singer is different, and people start to like such music. Okay, one of the most popular song was the or most uh, popular band is the Beach Boy, in which very successful in the United States. So come to this, the group become a poster voice to the rock genre in that moment. Okay, after that, there was another type of rock and roll which we call as a punk rock. Punk rock is some kind of uh, rock style in which the singer using different type of hair style to the moment he performing, like it's become popular among the American uh, listeners. Okay, when come to this, Britain, mostly, I mean, Britain rock stars also inspired by the American R&B and blues, who creating energetic and upbeat song that causing influence to the Britain rock singers. A group like a Beatles, Rolling Stone, and Kings across Atlantic appeal and sound duped the British innovation. Okay, and the British music listeners influenced by the new kind of punk rock, which is they can see the different type of song they can be uh, like in 1960s. Okay, but the most important element was there is electric guitar, which is become a major equipment to be used in a singing rock song. Okay, and apart from that, psychedelic rock also became famous during the 1970s. It's kind of rock in which the singer moving itself at the same time is singing the rock, which is up and down, and the sound of the song is different that can attract or melt of heart of the listeners. Okay, come to the subgenre and glam rock. Okay, subgenre glam rock is a different type of a rock music band, and apart from that, progressive rock also were introduced in 1970s. Many of them uh, did not succeed commercially until late 1970s, when a singer like a Pink Floyd, uh, Duran, Fleetwood Mac become a cultural icon. Okay, the people started to follow of the rock stars as their icon. So how do they get the momentum? How do they influence the people? Because of the confident on them. They trust that such as a subgenre glam rock and progressive rock can melt people's heart to listen to them, and their success as a career. Okay, the singing career growth, and they trust in themselves. Okay, apart from that, the rock music it becomes heavier despite being diverse musically. That means the song, the word, the tone, the genre they sing is become a more heavier. In terms of music, we can call it as a hard to understand the word, the way they singing, the way they performing, all become a different kind of hard rock that diverse in performing soundly, musically, and although the way they singing, so it also gaining momentum among the listeners. So the rock music become heavier with more distortion and being added to guitar. Okay, that means guitar has been used to distort their music and make it different from different type of rock before this. Okay, Aerosmith, Van Halen became popular by end of decade or 1970s. In 1970s also, it seemed the fall of a punk movement. That means the rock star, which is used different hairstyle, the dressing also is unpopular in 1970s. So it's some kind of uh, declination of the hardcore rock. Okay, we move to the uh, next one, like Black Sabbath, Motorhead, Kiss, Bill Me. They are the some of the uh, gothic band which is create music in type of gothic sound. Okay, in a term of rock and roll music in Britain. So in the rock and roll also become a origin of a hip hop and uh, what you tried to listening in 1970s. So it's up to the people who is accept or decline the different type of singing or song that bring by the what kind of group or band. So we come to this near romantic guitar oriented movement were gaining momentum at lastly in 1980s because the electronic guitar is used to express people intention by their song. So the rock and roll melting slowly from the hard rock and distortion style to the romantic one. But the few music band like Duran Duran and New Order, Echo, Main, and so on, still maintain the old style of rock and roll at 1980s. So, despite a fall of a classic rock and roll, Bruce Springfield, born in the USA, was one of the song is the most favorite song that still listened by the people around the world. So these are the certain uh, uh, origin of the rock and roll music in America and Britain. So till now, we stop here and thank you very much. We see you in next video. Please subscribe, share, and like my video.